Welcome to week 5 of NFL Pick'em. We got a very special guest, Mr. Mark Decesare. Made a cameo on the second podcast. What's up, Mark?
Hello there. How's it going?
Super genius. High expectations for him on these picks today.
Yeah, no pressure. Jesus Christ.
Better be a clean sweep or I'll be pissed.
I'll try.
People need some winners.
So,
damn right.
The elephant in the room. Mortal Locks 3-1 last week.
How did we do it?
Interesting.
I had the Eagles-Niners game over 46 points. A game that ended at 45 points because George Kittle straight up dropped a 2-point conversion. I think his first drop since
I don't think he's had a drop since 8th grade.
First drop since high school. Yeah, easily.
Yeah. That was a bad way to lose that.
That was probably the most emotionally invested I've been in a football game since the Jets were in the playoffs like 10 years ago. I was locked in. After that pick 6, they gave me a little bit of hope. I put in our group chat, I was like, this game's ending at 45 points or 47 points, guaranteed.
I mean, there was an avalanche of points. You got Nick Mullins throwing to Alex Singleton, like
hitting him in stride.
Yeah.
Hitting him in stride.
There was talk of the worst pick of the year early on in that game. Like Curry was like, I don't think this is going to go past 26 points. And then all of a sudden it balloons up to 39. And then they get the touchdown and they get 2 chances to go over and just fuck it up and pissed off. But anyway.
Shout out Doug Peterson for going for 2 after having the first score of the game to sink you.
Yeah, that was the sink. But you guys did well. I don't remember what your picks were, but they did well.
I mean, I'm just helping out America right now. I'm 3-1 in Mortal Locks.
Yeah.
Just keep following me and you'll be rich. So
unfortunately, the Packers are on bye this week, so I can't lock them up. That's unfortunate.
That is sad. We do have 2 buys.
I know.
We're gonna have to pull the Titans Bills from the picks because I saw spreads all over the place. It wasn't really worth putting in here, and it's probably not going to happen. But on the year, I am 34, 26, and 2 against the spread. Jesse is 25, 35, and 2. Curry is 26, 34, and 2.
3-1 in Mortal Locks. 3-1 in Mortal Locks.
3-1 in Mortal Locks. 1-3 in Mortal Locks. I'm just burning money.
2-2.
I'm just burning money out here. People got to realize I'm actually burning my money on these Mortal Locks. It's not just talk.
Yeah. We put our money where our mouth is. For
All right.
Sure.
Anyway, let's get into it. Tonight, Thursday night, Tampa Bay Bucks at Chicago Bears. Bucks are 3.5-point favorites. Bucks are banged up, and Bears have a pretty decent defense. So Bucks banged up on offense. Bears at home with a decent defense. I'll take the Bears. Give me 3.5 points here.
Yeah, this is like a psychological warfare line for me because I just see a massive drop in points. I think this opened up at 5.5. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's just that drop. I'm getting value with Tampa Bay right now. I think Tom Brady can win this game by a touchdown pretty easily. I think Nick Foles looked pretty bad last week. Indianapolis shut them down handedly. I think Tampa Bay covers here.
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay covers as well. Again, I think Tom Brady can just pick apart the Bears, and I don't think that Bears offense is capable of scoring points at all. So give me Tampa Bay.
I'm going to have to agree with Sam here and take the Bears, who are going to be my Mortal Lock of the week.
Mortal Lock right off the rip.
At plus 5.5, but they're no longer because the line moved by 2 full points. But yeah, I think the Buccaneers are pretty overrated. I mean, their 3 wins this season are against Carolina, Denver, and the Chargers, who they barely beat with Justin Herbert starting. So I don't think they're very good. I think Bears have a home game. I think it should be probably like a 2.5 line. So I'll take the Bears.
Okay, loving this trend off the rip. Me and Mark taking the Bears. Jesse Curry taking the Bucks.
I don't go Curry side.
Next we have the Arizona Cardinals at the New York Jets. Cardinals are 7-point favorites. Who in the world is taking the Jets in this game? Like, honestly, like 7 points is so low. The Cardinals,
Flacco, though.
Flacco starting for the Jets. My Cardinals might be frauds. I'll admit that right now. They look very bad the last 2 weeks. So it's do or die here. Obviously, I'm picking against the Jets until they win a game. So I might not pick again. I might not pick the Jets this year. So I'll take the Cardinals -7.
Yeah, the Sam thesis of I don't pick the Jets until they win. I mean, I love that thesis. I think the cat's out of the room, whatever the expression is, cat's out of the bag. I think the Cardinals are like bottom 10 DVOA offense. Everyone's like, "Oh, Kyler, oh my God, no way!" But it's like the offense isn't that good. It's actually pretty stale and not as impressive as the public thinks it is. With that being said, the Mullen thesis, I'm riding it until it's proven otherwise. Jets cover here. Or no. Cardinals cover here. Take it and ride with it. Mullen thesis all the way.
Yeah, give me the Cards here. I think the line is as close as it is just because Flacco's starting and the public is like, oh, like Joe Flacco, he was good at one point. Like, no, like he's riding the bench behind Sam Darnold. Like, obviously he stinks. The Jets stink. Cardinals at least with Hopkins, like, probably going to play this game and be effective this game because I know he played last game and he was clearly hobbled. So give me the Cardinals, please.
I'm going to have to disagree with all of you and take my Jets here. My Jets +7. Love the team. Great effort last week. Almost got a win against the Broncos. And the Cardinals, I mean, I think they're highly overhyped. And if anything, Vegas is baiting the public to bet them at +7. But Kyler Murray had 133 passing yards last week against the Carolina Panthers, who have pretty much no defense. And to be honest, like, even last year, Kyler Murray was great for fantasy because he rushes a lot, but in terms of real-life QB, really low yards per attempt, not honestly very impressive, and their defense is not very good. So I'll take the Jets at home. Not super confident in it because it's the Jets, but
True.
I think the Vegas is baiting the public into taking the Cardinals here.
Yeah, big push potential here, I'd say. But obviously taking three of us taking the Cardinals, Mark taking the New York Jets. Kyler not making the jump, I would hope. And Mark and I were actually at the last game DeAndre Hopkins had at MetLife Stadium. Absolutely popped off.
Yeah, I remember
that. Was a crazy game.
Yeah. All right. Next we have Carolina Panthers at Atlanta Falcons. Falcons 1.5-point favorites. I'll take them to get a pretty big dub here. 1.5 is pretty small. Falcons are playing for Dan Quinn's lives. They have an easy schedule coming up. We talked on the first podcast about how they're a very streaky team. I think their win streak starts here. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but they have a very easy stretch coming up, and I think it starts here against the Panthers. So I'll take the Falcons -1.5.
Yeah, I'm taking Panthers here. Teddy Two Gloves, he's looking pretty good. The ball's moving well. Mike Davis, I think I mentioned this last week, bowling ball and a half. He's going to get some yards up here. I can't take in good faith the Falcons after that brutal beat of my one loss in Mortal Lock week 2. That comeback, the Bears, they're just on my banned list. I can't take the Falcons anymore. I'm over. I'm out of that business. So, give me who we
Panthers?
playing?
Carolina.
Panthers. Give me the Panthers +1.5.
Existential moment.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
No, good. Yeah, I will also go with the Panthers. Sorry to keep picking with you, Jesse, and dooming us. But, Teddy Two Gloves, game manager, and he actually has been playing pretty well, like, dare I say. Mike Davis, like you said, can actually run the ball effectively. I mean, the Panthers can run the ball effectively if they're not getting murdered, which I don't anticipate happening. But, yeah, Falcons have nothing to play for. Not nothing to play for, but they look lifeless out there. Matt Ryan's seeing ghosts. I mean, Falcons freaking
Hey, that's our thing. Only one
they're
quarterback.
so good. Win a
ghosts.
game. Calvin really had what, 0 catches last week? Yeah, he's a good player. give me the Panthers.
Someone lost money on Calvin Ridley.
Maybe I did.
You had a prop on that? Christ. 0 catches.
I didn't actually. I actually didn't. They had fake receivers making catches. Freaking Zacchaeus.
Yeah, that's a fake.
Yeah,
catch.
I mean, Jair Alexander is a beast.
It sounds like a mythical god.
It's like he is. Greek mythology.
Either way, I'm taking the Panthers as well. This was another one of my favorite picks initially, but I think the line moved like a point or a point and a half in favor of the Panthers from where it started. But I'll still take them here. Got to trust Matt Rule, Temple coach. Falcons cornerbacks are terrible, so I think Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore will have a field day.
Love that.
So,
against my fantasy team.
Me against the world
show.
with the Falcons. Next, we have Cincinnati Bengals at Baltimore Ravens. Ravens 12.5-point favorites. Give me the backdoor cover god, Joe Burrow, to cover 12.5 points. I think they lose by 10 points and cover for me.
The rare back-to-back mortal lock. Your Bengals are going to cover the 12.5 easily. Now I'm thinking I might even sprinkle some money line here because Joe Burrow, he's going to be able to move the ball on Baltimore. The cat's out of the bag. Kansas City. All you have to do is beat Patrick Mahomes, and you have a chance to beat this Baltimore Ravens defense. Now, obviously, Joe's not there yet, but Joe Mixon got going last week. That's encouraging signs. I think the key here is going to be keeping the ball away from Baltimore's offense, but that line is way too fat for me. My mortal lock, Bengals plus 12.5.
Mixon is banged up. Something to keep your eye on, FYI.
No. My mortal lock in shambles.
Mortal lock.
Oh, no.
Double mortal lock? Are you trying to mush me?
Over 51.5
okay.
points.
Oh, thank God.
Mortal
Thank
lock.
God.
I saw it. I loved it. The Bengals have been scoring points. And the Ravens, I think they've in all three of their wins, they've scored over 30 points. They scored 20 against the Chiefs, who's a pretty good defense. But give me the over at 51.5. It's so low. It's so low in 2020 in the NFL. These defenses, the Ravens aren't as good as we think they are.
You know what else is
I think
low?
they're overhyped.
46 points is low.
Yes, fair. Also fair.
Eagles.
And
line.
what side were you
That
going
is
with,
low.
Dr. Lux?
Give me the Ravens.
Ravens.
Okay, I'm going to agree with Jesse here and take the Bengals, but it's not my mortal lock. I think the Bengals actually have been surprisingly decent this year. They haven't lost a game by more than 5. They're coming off their first win of the season. And I agree. I think Burrow moves the ball well. Joe Mixon finally had an explosive game. So I think they cover 12.5 is just too much for the Ravens.
Okay, everyone's taking the Bengals except for Curry, who's taking the Ravens. Mortal locks all over the place. Jesse, Bengals plus 12.5. Curry over 51.5 points. Next, we have my Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know why they're mine now. At the Houston Texans.
They suck. Like
I just
claiming all shit teams.
I just love pain. Houston Texans are 6.5-point favorites against Jacksonville. I don't know. Give me the Texans minus 6.5. They rid themselves of Bill O'Brien. Give me one big bounce back week for Deshaun Watson under Romeo Crennel. He's like 75.
Yes.
I don't know. Texans minus 6.5. Jacksonville finally looking like trash.
So I think the most dangerous team in football is a team 0-4 against the spread, and that's what you're dealing with in the Houston Texans. I think they're just so due for a cover. I was considering it making my mortal lock because of that logic. But I also think getting rid of the cancer known as Bill O'Brien, I mean, he was a bad general manager, good coach. I'll stand by that. From the inaugural first podcast,
Awful
that was an
general
official
manager.
take.
Awful
general manager. But law of averages, the boost of Romeo Crennel, new energy. I mean, 73 years old, he's not providing too much energy these days, but give me that cover.
No, the energy is going to come from Deshaun Watson as just like a big fuck you to Bill O'Brien and the rest of the league. So give me the Houston Texans to cover, or what, 6.5?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I think they cover that pretty easily. Deshaun Watson going to have a big fuck you revenge game.
I think this one could go either way, but I'm going to take the Jaguars, giving nearly a touchdown favorite to an 0-4 team that's been pretty abysmal this year. Seems a little bit too much to me. and I really don't think Romeo Crennel is any better of a coach than Bill O'Brien. I think O'Brien's main flaws were as a GM. So I guess it's possible they have a bounce-back game, but I'll take the Jags. I think this is two really, really bad teams, and the line should not be nearly a full touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Okay, everyone's taking the Texans except for the Jags. I do like the Texans because I feel like this is the first truly bad team they've played. You could say the Vikings are bad, but that's why I like the Texans. So let me get my last 2 cents in. Next, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs 12-point favorites against Jesse's Las Vegas Raiders. It's hard to tell with the Chiefs if they're going to play ugly and win or just beat the crap out of someone. In this instance, give me beat the crap out of them. Chiefs -12. Just feeling it. They're due for a beat the crap out game after a sloppy win against New England last week.
Yeah, I mean, people are trading this line like the stock market. I think it was 13.5. What were you dealing with? What, 12 you said now?
Yeah.
Holy crap. All right, I got to do some quick evaluation. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs here because of that line drop. Love fading the public, a key tenet of mine. You will win more times than not if you are on Vegas's side. Because of that tenet, I'm going to take the Chiefs -12 here.
You will win more times than not if you're on Vegas' side. And that's why I will be on Vegas' side and take the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh.
See how I kind of flipped your antenna on you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me the Raiders. Yeah, no, they can run the football. Chiefs are very explosive. So all it takes is the Raiders to just limit those 80-yard touchdowns, and I think they'll be able to hang in there and not get beat by 2 fucking whole touchdowns. So give me the Raiders.
I'm going to go the Chiefs here. I think this line is probably properly set now. So I think 12 is pretty reasonable, but I'll go the Chiefs. I think the Raiders are just not a good team. I'll stick with Mahomes and Andy Reid for this one.
And let me just point out
we gotta stop bringing on guests that just fade me.
Yeah. Let me just point out the fact for the listeners.
Last week was too nice. You got faded every time.
Every time Mark goes against Curry, you just see a look of defeat like I've never seen from Curry. It's actually the depression just sets.
It's pretty
classic. Hilarious.
Listen, I wrote all these down beforehand, so I'm not intentionally.
It's like I know that my bet's a loser, and then Mark betting against it is just confirmation.
No, yeah, Mark is
already a loser.
Marcus facts over feelings to the end. We know he's not swayed by Curry.
That's true.
Okay, we're all taking the Chiefs except for Curry, obviously. Next we have the Los Angeles. Next we have the Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles Rams at Washington Football Team. Rams 7-point favorites. Rams are much better than Washington Football Team. Give me 7 points to the end of time. Kyle Allen stinks. Yeah, I was thinking maybe they'll get better without Dwayne Haskins, but Kyle Allen also stinks. So give me the Rams -7.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a Haskins rant here. Lazy, unprepared, can't complete a ball to save his life. Has good weapons around him. Shout out Antonio Gibson. Shout out Scary Terry McLaurin. Shout out Steven Sims. Shout out Logan Thomas. Solid weapons. Quarterback stinks. Kyle Allen did some things, most of them bad last year. I just think it's an upgrade. I think Dwayne Haskins is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Even if Kyle Allen is terrible, it's still an upgrade. I'll go against my better judgment, Washington Football Team. It's just going to be a weird game that they figure out that they cover. Maybe even a garbage time cover. We'll see what happens.
Jeez. I'm trying to wait. Sam, who did you have?
The Rams.
You
know this isn't going to be a good decision. He's judging on what other people
his feelings over facts.
I was going into this going to pick the Rams. Jesse's like Kyle Allen's an upgrade. I don't think he is. I really think that the Rams are a much better team. And you guys are both in the Sean McVay is a fraud camp. I think
that's Jesse's chick.
So that's
Jesse. That's Jesse's bit. That's
yeah.
Jesse's
yeah.
bit. I think that Sean McVay can outsmart the Washington Football Team. Zero identity, zero anything defense / offense that Washington has. So give me the Rams. They can run. Jared Goff can manage the game. They'll win by a touchdown and a half.
I'm going to disagree with Curry yet again here.
Great.
While I don't think that Kyle Allen is much of an improvement, he did spend last year with Ron Rivera in Carolina, and he also tends to throw a high percentage of his passes to running backs. And I think McKissick and Gibson are two of their better weapons, so hopefully they'll utilize them a little bit more in the passing game.
Fantasy bias.
And also the Rams traveling cross country after only beating the Giants by 8 last week has me a little worried, even though I do like Sean McVay a lot. So I'll take Washington.
Oh, if I had one good pick last week, it was Giants to cover. Everyone hated me for that one. Panic pick and a half.
You got roasted for that stand your ground.
Okay, what do we got? Me and Jesse on the Rams? No,
I'm the Rams.
Me and Curry on the Rams. Jesse and Mark on Washington.
I hate saying those words.
Yeah, I do. I didn't want to say it. Next, we have Philadelphia Eagles at Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers 7-point favorites. Hate to break it to you guys. Eagles, I mean, they were desperation AF last week, played an awful quarterback, and still barely pulled it out. Took to the last second. Steelers are going to have fans coming off a fake bye. Give me the Steelers -7 to roll. Absolutely not going to mortal lock because I'm not touching the Eagles probably for the rest of the year. But Steelers -7 pretty comfortably.
Yeah, my console Eagles here. I think they're getting some receivers back. Alshon Jeffrey's corpse is back, apparently. Deshaun Jackson's corpse is back, apparently. Both will get hurt within the first couple plays if they do decide to play, so don't factor them into the line. Pittsburgh is going to wreck this offensive line. TJ Watt is going to have a day and a half, perhaps 7 sacks. He might break the NFL record. Give me Pittsburgh to cover here pretty easily.
Give me the Eagles. Give me the Eagles, please. I know this is a hard overhead.
Mark's smiling because he definitely has the Steelers.
Oh yeah, he's definitely. Listen, I really like.
See the hat.
I really. Oh yeah.
Yeah, get it low for this rant.
Yo, they got
Delco accent, please.
No, I will not go Delco accent because they're gonna lose. But I think they will cover. I think it's gonna be like a last-second field goal heartbreak. Jesse Kunzel. Let's keep in mind that Jesse Kunzel, the Eagles, who are currently first place in the NFC East. So
early,
that's a tough
but
look.
There's no way they're winning the Super Bowl. So call it what it is. It was fair.
Okay. Well, give me the Eagles. Big Ben super old. Give me the Eagles.
I'm going to take the Steelers here. Big Ben, notoriously much better at home, coming off a bye week against the Eagles, who I've already consoled for the entire remainder of the season. The Steelers, come on now.
Thank you, Mark.
Everyone but Curry taking the Steelers. Gotta like that one. Next, we have Miami Dolphins at San Francisco 49ers. Niners are 9-point favorites. Before I make this pick, is Jimmy G back this week? Do we know?
Leaning towards playing.
I think he is. Yeah.
All right, give me the Niners -9 if Jimmy G plays. If they have a serviceable quarterback, they're a very good team. Nick Mullins was so bad last week, so give me the Niners with Jimmy G. Even beat hard would be an upgrade.
So, a little bit of analytics for you guys. Raheem Mostert is supposed to come back for this game. Do you know he's the fastest player this season, graded out at 23.09 miles per hour against your beloved Jets, Sam?
I would argue that Mark's faster, but yeah.
Yeah, so you have the fastest player in the NFL coming back. You have Jimmy G coming back. Despite all of the mountains of evidence to say that San Francisco will cover, I am going to take the Miami Dolphins here. There's just too much room for a garbage time touchdown from Fitzmagic, and they proclaim that Fitzmagic will play this game over Tua. I disagree with that, but I think there's a scenario where San Francisco's up 15 or up 12, whatever makes the math work, and they score a late game touchdown to cover, and you get screwed in the end. So give me the Dolphins.
Give me the Niners. I think the Dolphins are a bad team. I think Fitz is on his last legs. Again, I said it last week. He kind of plays like he doesn't give a shit. But I just don't think that's going to be enough against the Niners with Jimmy G coming back. Most are coming back. Every time Jesse uses analytics, he like picks against his own analytics. I've noticed. So give me the Niners.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins here along with Jesse. I think this is again for people to pick the Niners because most are coming back. But the Dolphins haven't actually, even though they're 1-3, they haven't been too bad. They have an 8-point loss to Seattle, only a 3-point loss to Buffalo, a 10-point loss to New England, and then they crushed Jacksonville. So I think they're probably a little underrated, and Vegas is trying to bait people into the Niners with two of their main guys coming back. But even with that, their defense is decimated with injuries, so I'll take the Dolphins.
Okay, we got me and Curry taking the Niners, Jesse and Mark taking the Dolphins.
Also, Gesicki's a fraud.
Stop.
Flash in the pan.
I've sent 50 Gesicki trades in the last 2 weeks. He's not a fraud.
Tua's gonna love Gesicki. Rookie quarterbacks love tight ends. Trust me. Indianapolis Colts at Cleveland Browns. Colts are 1.5-point favorites. I might dare to say I might switch it up on the Cardinals and make the Colts my team because I think Curry and I both died on the Colts hill when we were picking divisions, and they look good in that division. If the Titans can ever play a game, maybe they'll compete. But if they keep getting COVID, then no. Colts -1.5. It's still impossible to pick the Browns. You never really know what they're going to do. If you make them throw, which I think the Colts are going to be able to do, then you'll be able to beat them. Colts defense has looked really good last week against the Bears. So give me the Colts -1.5.
Yeah, Colts a sneaky top 5 DVOA defense team. One of the best in the game. Very, very good pass coverage. They have good rookies stepping up for them. Nick Chubb's going to be out for this game. That's going to be a pretty big loss for Cleveland. They're run first. D'Ernest is unproven. That offensive line's very good, but it still takes a lot to be able to run for how much they've ran the past couple weeks. I think the Colts win this game with defense, and it's only a matter of time until the Browns brown. We're just due for it. They haven't Brownsed in a while, so give me the Colts to cover here.
Give me the Browns. Like, looking at this game at like a surface level, you think like, oh, we have run-heavy team against good defense. Colts really can't throw the ball. Kind of another run-heavy team. But I think the X factor is kind of the newfound explosiveness of that Browns team. Like OBJ last week, freaking show. So I think if you're, hey, let me get the ball in this guy's hands, and they have a few of those, explosive gains by getting balls to their playmakers because they have a bunch, even though Chubb is out. I think they can win this game. So give me the Browns.
I'm going to agree with Curry here. Take the Browns.
Let's go.
I'm going to make it my mortal lock of the week.
Oh.
I think this is another game where the line changed heavily. And I think maybe started like Colts -3. But I'll still take the Browns and take them as my mortal lock. I think the Colts are overrated. Phillip Rivers is absolutely terrible. I don't think they can put up enough points to force the Browns to have to throw the ball a lot. And the Browns running backs looked excellent last week, even without Chubb. Kareem Hunt, I think, is better than Chubb, so him getting more touches is not necessarily a bad thing. And low-key, the Browns recently changed their GM and have one of the best analytics departments now in the NFL. I think in the near term, they're going to turn a page for the first time in 25 years. And so this 3-1 start is a total fluke, and I'll take the Browns as my mortal lock.
Okay.
Wow.
Jesse and I taking the Colts. Curry and Mark taking the Browns. I will be betting the Browns now, though. Just FYI.
Now that we know.
my pick is the Colts, but I'll be betting the Browns. All right, next we have the New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys have fans, are at home, and are 8.5-point favorites. The way you beat the Cowboys is by outscoring them. Giants are not going to come close to outscoring the Cowboys. Cowboys -8.5 pretty comfortably. How are the Giants going to keep up with them? They have an awful offense and an equally bad defense. So give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, against my better judgment, I'm taking the Giants here. I just think that Dallas has one of the most putrid defenses, the likes of which we'll never see again. That one play to OBJ was a disgrace to football. I think there was at least 6 missed tackles I counted. I think Dak puts up serious numbers, but I think the Giants can at least put some points up on this putrid defense. So give me the Giants to cover that big number.
Give me the Cowboys. This is their first real chance to beat up on a really bad team, especially a division rival in the Giants. I think they're going to put up 50 burger on them, and the Giants aren't even going to come close. Give me the Cowboys.
I have to agree with my guy Curry here yet again. Dallas Cowboys in this game. I think the line is pretty appropriate here at 8.5. But if I had to pick, I just don't trust the Giants to score enough points even against the Cowboys defense. And I think Dallas has probably been underperforming a bit. So they'll have their defense will regress to the mean a little bit and not let up
to the mean.
Points.
Was waiting for
I'll
it.
take Dallas here.
Okay, so everyone but Jesse taking the Cowboys. Giants solo pick has been a good pick. So,
yeah, I'm counting on it.
Next we have Sunday Night Football: Minnesota Vikings at Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks at home. We got primetime Kirk. I absolutely love the Seahawks. Their offense is absurd, and the Vikings defense stinks. I actually love the Seahawks so much that I'm going to mortal lock the Minnesota Vikings +7. Rule number 8 of our tentative sports betting. When cold, fade yourself. When cold, fade yourself. We all know it.
Oh my goodness.
So my favorite line of the week is Seahawks -7. Need to fade myself because I've been cold. Vikings +7. Even my Vikings guy says they're getting blown out, by the way.
Okay, so I'm going to have a take Vortex for you. I think this is the second time in history we've had a take Vortex here. So you're fading yourself with your line, but I'm fading yourself here. So I'm taking Seattle -7. I don't think you can hit a mortal lock to save your life right now. Okay. So give me Seattle all the way. And for all the reasons you laid out, because you had a beautiful case on why you should take Seattle here, I'm going to take that case and I'm going to ride Seattle.
Yeah, I'm also going to ride Seattle. Russ in primetime versus Kirk Cousins in primetime. Only way I see the Vikings making it close is if Dalvin Cook just rushes for 200 yards, because you can't trust Kirk Cousins to throw the ball once the sun goes down. So give me the Seahawks.
I'm going to agree with Curry for I think the third or fourth time in a row and take the Seahawks. Take the Seahawks here. I think this is another good line. So I don't think it's a great betting opportunity. But at the end of the day, the Seahawks finally freed Russell Wilson this year. And so I think the Vikings are terrible. Their defense is not going to be able to stop the Seahawks. I'll take them -7.
Right. So just to be clear, my pick of the week is Seahawks -7, but my mortal lock is Vikings +7 because I have to fade myself. So I'm taking the Vikings mortal lock. Everyone else taking the Seahawks. Monday Night Football. Los Angeles Chargers at the New Orleans Saints. Chargers. Someone in this said that Tyrod Taylor can't lose his job from getting his stabbed in the heart. Turns out Tyrod Taylor.
No, it's Jesse.
Yeah, it turns out Tyrod Taylor lost his job after getting stabbed in the heart. So Justin Herbert for the rest of the season. Saints are 8.5-point favorites here. Give me the Chargers. It is at the Saints, but no conviction. Give me the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Tyrod Taylor's lawyer, I'd be making a lot of friggin' money this week. That's a clear lawsuit if I've ever seen one. Pretty brutal. Someone called it intentional stabbing, but it was the right decision. Herbert's better than Taylor. As much as he was wrongfully hit in the lungs by a needle, that was the right decision. Despite all of that, New Orleans will cover here. The long-awaited return of Mike Thomas will allow Breeze to check down even more. Still can't throw it over 10 yards in the air, but Mike Thomas will win those one-on-one matchups. So give me New Orleans because they're going to put up a lot of points.
Yeah, give me New Orleans as well for the same reasons that Jesse said. I mean, Mike Thomas coming back is huge. I know the public's going to think it's huge and lay points on the Saints. I don't care if I'm betting with the public. I think the Saints are going to hand it to them. Chargers, again, their locker room's got to be a mess right now. I mean, their starter just got stabbed by a trainer and lost a job. Like, that's pretty divided locker room if I've ever seen one. So and they're on the road. Give me the Saints. Give me the Saints.
I'm gonna have to take the Chargers here. I think Herbert has been looking better each week, and I think Breeze is pretty much done. I don't know that Michael Thomas helps him all that much because it really didn't seem to help week 1. Even though they beat Tampa Bay, Breeze was pretty bad. The Chargers, despite playing a couple good teams, have played all of their games pretty close here. They took the Chiefs to overtime. They lost to Tampa Bay by 7 off some fluky plays. So I'll take Justin Herbert and the Chargers for the final Monday night game.
Okay, we're damn near running out of time. Jesse, you take the Saints?
Yes, of course.
Okay, Mark and I taking the Chargers. Jesse and Curry taking the Saints. That's going to do it for our football picks this week. Let's do a baseball quick hitter. The Fish lost. Prayers. They are officially out. Astros about to win.
My dream of Tampa, Florida World Series.
Yeah,
off the table.
My dreams are dead. Houston about to beat the A's. Mark, how do we feel about the Yankees tonight?
I feel okay about the Yankees. Jordan Montgomery, not the best starting pitcher. I was really hoping to win the game with Tanaka. I think this is a do-or-die game for both teams. Yankees will dominate Game 5 if they get it to Garrett Cole. So it comes down to it. I'll still take my Yankees. Giancarlo Stanton, home run, every single game this playoffs. Eventually, Judge or LeMahieu or one of the other guys is going to get it going. So I'll take the Yankees, and then Game 5 will be way too easy with Cole. And then we get our rematch with Houston that we want. So
okay, about a clock out. Thanks for coming on, Mark. Appreciate it.
No problemo.
All right, catch you next week.